hope everybody is doing well. Today I'll be filming a sort of reddish look. Well, obviously it's on my face, but my main purpose for this look was for it to be for a formal or prom, as you guys call it, or any other special occasion like maybe a dinner or a girls' night out or just clubbing in general. So if you want to know how I got this look, please keep watching. So I was doing my makeup, but then I thought, you know, better put my cameras on and might as well film it. So I already have my foundation, my brows and concealer and all of that jazz on. So the base is on, but I've got no contour, blush, highlight, none of that stuff. So to bronze up and contour my face, I'll be using my Napoleon Purtis Bronze Patrol. You guys have seen me use this when I first started doing YouTube videos, I think, and then I veered off it a little bit as far as I remember. I've just lately been using like Essence products and AUSTRALIS products and all of that, but I wanted to give this little bad boy another go because I do remember that I used to love using this little thing on an everyday basis. Just gonna pin my hair back. So as you guys can see, it does have a bit of flex going through it. It's beautiful. It used to be like domed, but now it's like almost flat, and I've almost hit pan on it. That's how much I love this product. It's super buildable, super blendable, and it's very pigmented as well. And then for my highlight, I'll be using BH Cosmetics Blacklight Highlighting Kit, and I'm thinking of using the shade Electra and Laser. Laser has like sort of a greenish undertone, whereas Electra has like a gold undertone, so I'm not too sure of which one I want to use. But first off, I'll be starting with the shade Electra, which is the first one on the highlighting kit. And all of these are super pigmented. I've got like, look at that, that's just one swipe of Electra, and basically that's all you would actually need, whereas me, I'm a bit of a highlight queen, so I like that stuff to pop. See that? I think these are about $14.95, 14 something. But you know what? BH Cosmetics always has super crazy deals going on. Their products are so affordable. They're so worth the price and the waiting time. Like, they're amazing stuff. And then with the back of my finger, I'll just be popping that onto my nose, right over there, and onto my Cupid's bow as well, and on the bottom half of my lips. So that was without any Fix Plus or anything for that matter. And look how pigmented and look how glowy I look with just like 2 coats of Electra on. So just for the sake of it, because I really do want this look to look glowy, I am doing this look for you girls to get an idea of prom makeup, because on Instagram I have had a lot of you message me and pre-book your formal or prom makeup services from me. So I'm just doing this to help you feel out a little bit, because I've had like maybe the majority of you asking what type of makeup is good for prom, so this is what I am coming up with. So for a special occasion like this, with whatever's left on your brush, just go ahead and pop them on your collarbones, and just so they're a bit more prominent. Moving on to my blush, and I'll be using my MAC She Tone Shimmer Blush in the shade Dolly Mix. It is very, very pink. I've said this in most of my tutorials before that I've used it. She's absolutely amazing. A little bit goes a long way, and honestly, it buffs out like a dream. It blends into any sort of highlight and goes well with any sort of product for that matter. It's just perfect for like prom or a formal would be. Like, I'm just going to show you how I actually put it on. So with my blush brush, I just dab it onto there, and already you guys can see the pigment that's on there. Tap it off, and then I'll buff it into my skin. I won't go ahead and sweep in because it'll just be too harsh, because it is a very pigmented product. I've had this for over a year and it's like, it's untouched basically. You guys can see it. So over one whole year and it looks almost untouched. So to sharpen my contour so it can look a lot more defined without me using any product, I'll be using my MAC Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder, and I'll just bake underneath my contour and on my jawline. So what this does, it just brings that area forward and defines that contour for you, as you guys can see. And the more you leave it on, the better it is. Well, it depends on how you like your contour and how sharp you like it to be. But with me, you guys will see as I'm progressing through the tutorial that I'll basically leave it on until maybe sort of halfway through my eyes, and then I'll just go ahead and I'll just sweep it off. And And then to brighten up underneath my eyes a lot more, yes, my concealer did do its job, but because I've put blush and highlight on there, I feel as if it's sort of dulled out a little bit. So to zhuzh it up a little bit more, I'll be going in with my AUSTRALIS Queen C cream and powder contouring and highlighting kit. And as per usual, you guys know the drill, I'll be using the banana powder shade just to pop it on underneath there and sort of re-highlight it for me. So any setting brush will do, and this one's from Real Techniques. And you guys will see I'll do just one side so you guys can see what I mean. So on this side, I have put the banana shade on my eyelid and underneath my eyes. As you guys can see, as a comparison, this side has nothing on it, just my concealer and my setting powder. And this side has the AUSTRALIS Queen C, the powder banana shade underneath my eyes and on top of my eyelids. And like you guys can see, it does brighten it up and it re-highlights it and just gives it that airbrush look. So moving along to my eye look, I'll be using the Morphe 350 palette. And for my base shade, I'll be using that very first shade you guys see over there. And then for my transition shade, I'll be using the orange shade over there. This look is going to look very warm and very, not orange toned, it's going to be very warm and red toned. So this is just my crease shade that I'll be using in my crease and on top of my brow bone. And we're bringing that all the way in to my inner corner. And then to deepen that shade a little bit more, I'll be using the next shade that's next to the transition shade that we just used. And I'll focus this on the bottom half and the outer V. So as you guys can see, I am holding my brush from the body of it so I can give a lot more pressure when putting this shade on. And I am using small circular motions to go inside that socket and halfway through my eyelid to give that a little bit more of a dimension. So as you guys can definitely see, it did give a lot more dimension to my eyelid and also deepened up the look a lot more. So next up, underneath that, well, on top basically of that transition shade, there is like this red toned shade over there, and I'm going to be using this to give in that red deepened sort of look to my eye look. It's going to make a lot more sense, trust me, when I do it. So, and we're focusing this basically all over my eyelid, and like not the inner corner, but the outer corner and halfway through my eyelid, on the bottom half at the very beginning. Now we're going to deepen up the red a lot more, but for now we'll keep it at that. So on the second row, the first shade over there, there is a brownish sort of deep shade that I want to use to deepen up my outer corners a lot more. So like before, we're just focusing this in round circular motions on the outer V and coming halfway into my crease. Alright, now to deepen up that red, like we said before, I'll be using that same red shade that I did before, dabbing it just the tiniest bit and going over the two transition shades that we used in the very beginning to deepen up the red look a lot more. Now with this, when you have barely anything on your brush, I want you to come in all the way to your inner corners, so you sort of like carve it out a little bit. So now with that very first base shade that we used, I want you to re-highlight your inner sockets or inner corners. And then with that foiled shade over there, just get the tips of your fingers, whichever finger you want to use. It's just a beautiful shade, like look at that, it's so gorgeous. And then pop this shade all along your eyelid. Because this shade is more textured than the others, they work better when you pop them on your finger, only because the heat of your fingertips works really well when blending it in, and no brush will hold any pigment like your fingers would. And then again, with that very first base shade that we used, I'm going to be using this to re-highlight underneath my eyebrow. And then with any eyeliner brush or a flat top brush, I'm going to be using that first orange shade that we used for my crease. And I'll be placing this all along my lower lash line. You can be very messy with this because I do want this look to be very smoky. And then with that red shade, going along the same way. And then with that really dark brown shade over there, popping that on only on the outer corners. So now, like I said before, I'm going to be taking off that baking and I'm going to show you exactly how I do so. So with any brush whatsoever, this is the brush that I use my setting powder on, my pigmented setting powder, and I'll just be sweeping that in up and down motions, and as you guys can see, it has really sharpened and highlighted my jawline a lot more. So now with any bullet type brush, and what I mean by bullet is, see how it's like in a dome sort of shape. I'll be grabbing the shade Strobe from my Blacklight highlighting palette and then spraying some Fix Plus on that and popping that right in the inner corner of my eye so that just pops out a lot more. So now that I'm done with my eyeshadow and all of the powder products on my eye, I'll be setting my brows into place and I'll be using my Maybelline Brow Drama in the shade Dark Brown. For my eyeliner, I'll be using my Maybelline Hyper Sharp Winged Liner, and then on top of that, I'll be using my little silver glitter liner that I have to go over the top of my eyeliner. And I'll link my lashes down below. They are from eBay. Again, they're these ones that I've used in my last tutorial. What style were they? The A11. I'll definitely link them down below. So I'll pop these three little bad boys on and I'll be right back with you guys. So while my eyelashes are drying into place, I'm going to be putting my lip products on, and today for my lip liner, I'll be using the Napoleon Purtis lip liner in the shade Hot Mocha. This is it's a really glamorous color. It's really royal. It's not too dark and not too light, but as a lip liner, when you're going for like matte shades, honestly, this does the job so well, and I'll show you just how. And then now over the top of that, I'll be going in with my Kylie Cosmetics matte liquid lipstick in the shade Dulce K. This shade just suits everything or every single makeup look that I have done so far. It's not too dark and not too light, and if it is too dark for your skin tone, you can definitely light it up like I will be showing you in just 2 seconds. So this is the lipstick on its own. That's Dulce K. If this is a bit dark for you, and my foundation shade is the Maybelline Fit Me in 220. So if you guys use somewhere along those lines, this may be just the perfect nude or just that tinge darker that you're not too used to. If that's the case, go in with a lighter color on top, giving it that sort of contour for your lips, making the inner bit look more fuller. And to do that, I'll be using my NYX Lip Lingerie in the shade Corset. So with this shade, I'll just be popping it right in the middle, and then I'll be buffing it out with the back of my finger. And as you guys can see, that just gave my lips a little bit more of a dimension, a contour, and a little bit more of a plump to it. For special occasions like this, I mean, it's your prom night, it's your formal night, you're going to want your lips to stay put all night long. So for that matter, I always go in with a liquid lipstick rather than a gloss or a satin or whatever the finish is. I always prefer the liquid lipstick over anything. And to finish off my look, I'll be using my MAC Prep Prime Fix Plus to keep my face looking nice, glowing, and all sort of like molded into one another, and give that little bit of longevity to my look. So this is the end result. It looks very, very vampy if you ask me, and that's just straight up my alley. I love the colors. I love red, and I love all of the warm tones on my complexion if you ask me. If you guys do try out this look, please leave it in the comments down below or DM me on Instagram. But nevertheless, I did love how it did turn out. I can definitely wear this basically anywhere I go. But if you guys did end up liking this video as much as I did filming it, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.